You remember Dirt, right? It was that rally game series that was going super well until they released Dirt Showdown, which killed the franchise stone dead with its inane banger racing nonsense. Or did it kill it stone dead? Turns out those cheeky PC players with their keyboards and their ergonomically designed office chairs with lumbar support and, more relevantly, their Steam Early Access have been playing a brand new Dirt game for months. Months, I tell you. Us console peasants will have to wait another couple of months for Dirt Rally's April 5th release date, but you'll be pleased to hear that it's being done properly. Here are 5 reasons, with footage from both Xbox One and a bit of PS4, why it'll be well worth the wait. If that arrangement of numbers and letters means absolutely nothing to you, here's why it's important. Codemasters is targeting full HD and 60 frames per second on both consoles, with the priority being those extra 30 frames per second. Dirt Rally is a challenging driving game on breathtakingly narrow courses, so the silky smoothness of 60 frames per second is essential. Having twice as many frames sent to the screen per second can mean the difference between an inch-perfect power slide and tumbling off a cliff to your doom. I mean, you will still almost certainly tumble off a cliff to your doom at some point, but it will be 100% your own fault.
Into right 4 long.
In the PC version of Dirt Rally, if you want to play the Rallycross portion of the game, you have to do it in a top-level 600 horsepower Rallycross supercar. That's a bit like learning to juggle and going straight for the chainsaws. The console release brings with it Super 1600 spec Rallycross cars, which are slightly less likely to fling you into outer space when you accidentally clip a curb the wrong way. It allows you to ease into the unique demands of Rallycross and, as a bonus, makes multiplayer races marginally less crash-tastic. There are also Rallycross minis, which are even slower, but weirdly are probably the most challenging Rallycross cars in the game. Because they have as much power as a hamster in a wheel, they require you to carefully preserve momentum, otherwise you end up crawling around the place. If you mess up, you're unlikely to have a huge somersaulting accident, you'll just have an excruciating climb back to top speed, which is way less fun. If you played the original Colin McRae Dirt, you might remember the intimidating Pikes Peak hill climb. 12 miles of winding switchbacks up a mountain in Colorado. Calling it a hill climb is like calling the Olympics a sports day. Pikes Peak appears in both its original mixed surface and its current all-tarmac variants in Dirt Rally, but the console version heralds the arrival of the fastest car ever to reach the top of the mountain. It's Sebastian Loeb's Peugeot 208 T16, and driving it is a bit like being strapped to the front of a cruise missile. Oh, and the reason the rear wing looks so ridiculous, it's because Peugeot borrowed it from their own 200-mile-an-hour plus Le Mans racing car, which you might have driven in Forza. Right at the same time, they were also robbing the engine. This thing is absolutely terrifying. You can't drive it on loose surfaces like dirt and gravel, sadly, it simply isn't built for that sort of thing, but if you really want to frighten yourself, then put your affairs in order, bid your loved ones a teary farewell, and set the weather to rain. Dirt Rally was a bit of an experiment when it arrived on PC. Whereas the previous Dirt games were more of the Los Angeles X Games Ken Block Gymkhana persuasion, Dirt Rally is all about the Welsh forest in the pissing rain side of Rally. It's a deeply authentic throwback to the Colin McRae games of old, and the sort of risk that not many developers take these days. If you really want to know if you'd be a decent rally driver, this is the way to find out. Nothing's dumbed down for a mainstream audience, nothing's cut from the PC version, and while there are new tutorial videos to help you get to grips with the game, you'll still have to get your head around proper rally pace notes.
Right 6 long, 60. Caution left 4 half long, slippy.
Yeah, easy for you to say, buddy. Though his damage reports are on point.
The water temp is creeping up.
If you're a console player who has been greedily eyeing Dirt Rally ever since it arrived on Steam Early Access, Codemasters has a little sweetener to make up for the wait. There's a day one version of the game called Legend Edition, which contains a free Blu-ray documentary about the life and career of Colin McRae, the Banzai Scot who originally inspired the series. Of course, I already bought and paid for it on DVD about 5 years ago because I'm an irredeemable nerd, but at least that means I can report that it's pretty good. There's a bit about the games in there, but it's mainly about how McRae was a phenomenal talent behind the wheel and nowhere near as frightened of the accelerator pedal as we are playing his game.
Long over crest. And right 5 continues for 100.
So there you go, 5 reasons why Dirt Rally's tardy appearance on consoles is still very much worth the wait, especially if you like your cars like you like your Oscar-winning movies about 2 middle-aged men travelling through California wine country. What, no one saw Sideways?